G'day and welcome back to the channel. Again, a bit of fun today because the sun is out for the first time in a very long time. We've had a lot of rain. It's been very wet, cold, dismal because, hey, it's winter. And I gather winter is the place where they put all the bad weather so we can have fun in summer. But whatever the case, it's been terrible. I haven't flown for quite some time. So I thought I'd have a talk about this. Now this is the, well, I don't know, I think it's sold by Eachine, by Banggood. Go to Banggood. They have these things. This is, I think it's the 400mm P51 fun fly thing. It's a cool little plane. It's 4 channels, so it's got ailerons, elevator, rudder and throttle control. It runs on a single little lithium battery. Let me take the bottom off and show you. One of these little batteries, so cheap, super cheap. Comes with 2 of these batteries. They give you a spare and a charger for these batteries. And it's just a whole lot of fun. It's very light. It's almost impossible to break. Don't challenge me. I'm sure I'll manage it somehow. But it's very light, so it bounces. It's got a prop that just knocks off, so you can't even bend the motor shaft, and the risk of hurting anybody, because this prop is super flexy, so you're not going to hurt anybody with this thing. You can fly it around. We've had a ball with these things. We've been flying combat and all sorts of things. That just clips back on, and it's just, I can't say enough good things about this thing. Everybody should have one of these. This is definitely a 10 thumbs up recommendation, because everyone should have one. They are just so much fun. Whether you're a novice just getting into the hobby, you can run it with all the gyros wound up and it's stable as anything, or whether you're an expert and you can turn off the gyros and you can fly it in strong winds and fly it in your backyard. You can fly it anywhere. I mean, this is just an everyday plane, and it's so small you can keep it in the car if you want to. So yeah, what can I say? And if you mate it with something like this, the Jumper T-Lite, which I've done on this is multi-protocol, of course. If you get the one that does all the protocols, not just the TI 2500 protocols, but the full multi-protocol one, it'll bind with this. It'll bind with this, and it's just fun, because this does come with a transmitter, but it's a pretty crappy transmitter. And if you've got something nice, that makes flying all the more fun. But I've been flying this for a long time. So has everyone else in the club. They've all got one. We've all had a great big fun. Dog fights, and we've had mid-airs, and no damage, nothing to worry about. And you get at least 10 to 15 minutes on one of these batteries, which is astounding. Probably because they're so light. Let me put it on the scales that don't show the blood. We'll see how light it is. I haven't actually ever weighed one, but it's certainly under 250 grams. So let's turn on the scales and let's throw it on. And that says it 45 grams without a battery. Let's throw a battery in there for good measure. 55 grams. That's so light. Nobody in the world could say that this was a risk to anybody. Not even a choking hazard. It's too big to be a choking hazard. So it's not a risk. It's lighter than a blackbird or a starling. So fantastic. This is the kind of model that we can get really right back into the hobby. Now, of course, everybody knows I like to fly FPV. And so I've been thinking for a while, hey, I should put an FPV system on this. So I got out FPV. Let's have a look. Let's see. DJI digital. That's probably going to not be very good, is it? No, I think it might. Yeah, no, that's a bit heavy. We won't be flying DJI digital. Even the Caddx, it's probably too heavy for that. But what about Fat Shark? The Shark Bite system? Nah, it's still quite a big thing. What about the 200 milliwatt board? I think I have one of those in here. Oh, no, I've got it in a model actually, but I have the 200 milliwatt board, but it's still a bit big and heavy. And also, we've only got one cell, 4.2 volts maximum to power the FPV system and everything. So got to keep it simple, got to keep it practical. So what am I going to do? Well, fortunately, Runcam and SpeedyBee have an option, and this is it. I use this on my drifter. And if you looked at my XJet channel the other day, you'll have seen a video with the drifter, cockpit view from the drifter. It's fabulous. And also this runs on 4 volts. It'll run down to under 4 volts. So I'm thinking, mount this on the CG or just ahead. And what are we going to have? Even with the battery, if I put this on here, still only going to be 62 grams for 4-channel FPV and a P51 Mustang. So, hey ho, should we give it a go? I think we should. Okay, just a few minutes later, and look, we've got the camera mounted on the P51. This is a 200 milliwatt camera, and well, I guess we should see if it works. It's the moment of truth, you might say. Let me just rearrange things here. I'll hold the, no, let's turn this on. This is a good little device. I reviewed it some time ago, the Red Paws. I think it's sold by Eachine, all sorts of people, but it's a really handy visor because you can use it without the lens, and it becomes a nice handy bench thingy. You know, nice piece of kit to have on your bench when you're testing out FPV. So here's the battery, here's the plane. Let's plug it in, see if we get a picture. That would always be advantageous. Get the voltage the right way around. What have we got? Oh yes, look at that. Oh, bit close there. Look at that, we have a picture. Our P51 is FPV. Woohoo! There's the bench. How cool is that? How cool is that? Now, I don't know at this stage whether we're going to get a lot of noise from the motor. That's always possible. Things like that happen. But why don't we just try it and see? Yeah. Let's give it a go. Okay, got it all plugged in. What happens when it... Oh, look, there's virtually no... I can't see any noise on there. That's fantastic. I think we should go and give this a bit of a fly and see how it works out. Right, I've got my SkyZone 04Xs, which I have reviewed on this channel, and they are simply the best analog FPV goggles on the market at any price, really. In my honest opinion. Battery. Put some antennas on these goggles. This is the cloverleaf that comes with the O2Xs, I think. So it does the job. See, it's a SkyZone one. It says it on the top. So that works reasonably well. Here is my 11-turn helical, which, just because it's in the box, I will use it. Obviously, I'm not going to be needing extreme range with this little P51, but hey, this will not hurt, so we'll put it on as well. There we go. Battery, goggles. Let's go outside. Okay, here we go. Sorry about the go-kart noise. There may be some wind noise as well. It's actually not calm today. Now, I'm going to... Doesn't it look nice? Doesn't it look pretty? It's beautiful. I'm going to plug it in. And I've got I have to set my goggles on search. I don't know what channel, never rely on search, but I'm going to today because this is such a low risk model. The worst that can happen is nothing. What we're doing, there we go, that looks beautiful. Better start recording. Let's do some recording on the goggles. In fact, I'll just fly a line of sight first, and then we'll get an idea of whether this is going to get reasonable signal. Hopefully, it'll be all go, and whether this won't affect the tune too much. I'll turn the camera around so you can see this. Duck down. Turn it down so you can see this, hopefully. You won't see too much, but hopefully you'll see a little bit. Here we go. Probably be, oh, the wind's coming from a very strange direction today, so bear with me. Here we go, we're flying. That looks fine and dandy. I'll bring it in because I don't want to waste the battery too much. Beautiful. Oh no! Oh, prop fell off. That's normal. Right. I'll review that footage and see what it looks like before I do a proper FPV flight. You didn't see much of that, did you? Never mind. Stay with me. See, the prop just pops off. It's brilliant. Okay, let us go. Let us put a battery in and see what we can do. A proper flight no less. Take out the old battery, put in a new one. We don't want it to be as fresh as possible because with the extra drain of the FPV, I don't know how much flight time we'll get. And of course, when the battery drops below a certain voltage, the FPV will simply stop working. So I don't want to push my luck too much. But here we go. Try and get these wires in. There we go, snip snap. Let's have a look and see if we're recording. Start recording now. There we go, looks like we've got something. So, let's give it a hurl, as we say in the trade, and see if we can do some FPV. There's the camera, look. Give it a hurl, woohoo! Oh, look at this. Look at this, will you? This is brilliant. Just like being in a real P51, I think. Turn my head so I'm pointing in the right direction. Oh. Fantastic. Woohoo. It feels a little nose heavy. I think I may have moved the CG a bit forward with that positioning, so you could move the camera further back than I've got mine. But hey, look at this. Look at that, and remember, this isn't circularly polarized, so we're getting pretty good reception considering that we're running linear antennas around all this metalwork, all these hangers. They really do tend to produce a lot of reflections, and there is a bit of breeze. I told you, there's a pretty stiff wind actually. Well, it's not a stiff wind, but it is, for something this size, you would think it was a lot windier than it was. This is fantastic. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Woo! We can feel the breeze now. Probably hear it on the microphone perhaps. Let's see what happens downwind. How fast can we go? Remember to turn my head. Look at this. This is brilliant. Oh, this is for proximity. I think we've got a new way to fly proximity here with this little thing. Ooh, can I get between me and the camera? No, I can't. Oh, yes. And I'm getting good flight time too. I mean, considering we're running off that tiny battery powering the FPV and the aircraft, let's see if we can land without breaking anything. Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, well, the propeller came off, but that happens. Damn bloody go-karts and all their noise. I enjoyed that. That was actually really fun. Really, really fun. Ah, hey, do it. I'm going to try and convince everyone else in the club to set theirs up like this. We can have some real dogfights rather than line of sight FPV dogfights. And honestly, with the weight of that thing, it must be the safest FPV fixed-wing aircraft on the market if you convert it. So I'd say do it. And I'll put a list, if I can remember, list of the parts I used in the description. They won't be affiliate links. I don't rely on affiliate links. I want you to know that I'm recommending something because it's what I think is best for the job. You could use any all-in-one, I suppose. There's plenty of all-in-ones on the market, but the Runcam camera, as you can see, handles the lighting conditions today because it's really low sun. It's a brilliant camera for lighting. You get the CMOS ones, the cheap CMOS ones, sometimes they're just not so good, they just don't work that well. So hopefully you see that it's worth paying a little bit extra. And that 200 milliwatts is a really strong signal. Anyway, better go and pick it up. So there it is, the little P51 goes FPV, and I like it, it's great. I will still fly at line of sight. I should have made it so it's removable, but I wanted to get the test done super quick and easy. So, hey, it's worth making the conversion. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks my Patreon supporters. Make it all possible. I love analog. Couldn't do that with digital. Bye for now.